my aim, my attempt to be the first human being ever to run a marathon pulling a plane. That's the aim, to run an entire marathon, 26.2 miles, pulling a 1-ton light aircraft. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I need to have a kind of a video that explains what it is that that I do and you know what people will get if they subscribe and check out this channel. So I'm a kickboxer. I've fought for various associations of Team Great Britain and things like that. But now my time goes to something a little bit more different. I am an extreme charity athlete. What I want to try and get from this channel is people to follow on kind of like the journey that I'm doing. Because I'm not one of these muscle-bound monsters who obviously can do fantastic fitness challenges and things. It's kind of like, can the average person do things that are outside of what people think they could do? So we started back, I've only started the channel now, but we started back in 2016 when I decided I'm going to start pushing my my fitness and physical ability to the highest possible. So what I was doing is I started off, I saw Eddie Izzard. And Eddie Izzard did this crazy marathon challenge. And he did it on, hardly any running experience or anything. And it was insane. He did like, marathon after marathon after marathon, 5 days a week. And he did that for, I think he only had a couple of days off, something, then did it more and more and more. And I just thought it's brilliant because that shows that it's mind over matter. It's whatever if you're going to do some kind of crazy endurance or fitness or kind of anything, it's mind over matter. So the best way to do it is, rather than training up for it, publicly put out there that you're gonna do it, and then you've got to. Okay, you've got to. So what I did is I put out like a little video, and it was when I'd just gone out for a run, and I thought I'm gonna see how far I can run. I don't really do like running and stuff like that, so I ran, and I got to about 6K, and at 6K I thought, yeah, this is all right, this. Marathons will be okay. Obviously, it's just the most stupid, ridiculous thing. So I filmed this video. Let's put it on Facebook straight away. And it said, in 6 months, I am going to not run a marathon, but I'm going to run 10 marathons in 10 days. I'm going to get the train to London, and I'm going to run back. And so, I think it was about 160 miles, as the crow flies in a straight line. So me and a crazy team, who I have a team who kind of like helps out in all these crazy ideas that I have. And what we did is we plotted the distance of a marathon from hotel to hotel to hotel all the way back. Now the marathon challenge was crazy. All right, I mean the pain that you go through doing marathons was killer. So we set off out of Trafalgar Square. And, just started running back down the Thames. It was lovely. The sun was out. It was a really nice one. And I kind of was getting through as, donations were coming in and everything. And I was finishing the first marathon thinking, this is really easy. Why do people think it's so hard? And then I finished the marathon, went back to hotel. Oh, Jesus. You're going nowhere. Oh, right, okay, cool. What do you want?
Do you feel better tomorrow now?
Oh, I can't feel my toes, I've got it.
Ice water. Saying don't show us, but seriously fantastic.
Boom.
We will be posting updates.
All the time.
All the time. Bye.
And then I woke up the following morning. And I just thought it would be the same again. The sun was still nice. It was a lovely day. Out we go for, for marathon 2. I got out and I got out of bed and I put my feet on the floor. I literally just put my feet on the floor, and this pain that shot kind of like up my shins like literally from just where your instep is on your foot all the way up. And the pain was insane. So, and that's when I was introduced to shin splints for the first, the first time. And then as I kind of got up, I tried to walk around. It was a bit hobbly, to be honest. Legs were so heavy. Went down, had some breakfast, and everyone turned up like, "Morning, Carl, ready to go, marathon 2." And I'm like, "Yay!" Obviously, it was all just complete false lying, as if saying, "I'm really excited to do this today." So what I did is we got up and then we started going for marathon 2.
21 people online already.
Put my water on, look at that. Put my water on, everything in the thing.
For Tour de France.
So we've left, we've done the second marathon in 2 days. Eric completed 2, Eric over here. That was hard though. And I had a couple of people again with me, I had a couple of people on bikes, just trying to keep me going. And it was hideous. I got to, we got to the end of it, but I'll tell you what, it was long. My first marathon was about, I don't know, it was about three and a half-ish hours, something like that, I can't quite remember. And then the second was 5 hours, or 5.5 hours. And I thought, oh, this is terrible. And I finished the second marathon and everything was in pieces. And I've started to get these weird pains. So I get pains in my shoulders, just from that motion, the arms turning. I get pain all across my shoulders and my back, then my lower back, then I moved to my hips. I then woke up for day 3 and I didn't need to even get my feet onto the floor. I didn't even need to do that. All I did is I moved my feet under my duvet and I lifted one leg and my hip flexors, it was like a sharp pain in my hip flexors, like this kind of like horrible, like a tss kind of feeling. And then as I tried to move them, I couldn't move my legs. I had to use my arms to move my legs to get them out of the, of the bed. And then the hobbling came along. We had a couple of things that we did that were really cool. Like along the way, we had people helping us out. Like on, I think it was on day 4, I had, it was at the end of day 3. I had someone do cryotherapy, like on my legs and my knees and everything. And I tell you what, it did work. It did help out quite a lot. But then, we kept going, marathon 4, marathon 5, 6, 7. Now, 7 was the killer. 7 was running through West Brom. Horrific, and I mean horrendous. So running through West Brom, I got to about mile 11, 12, something like that. And I remember where it was. There was a tree coming out of the pavement, and Joe, obviously, the roots of the tree lift up some of the paving slabs, and you get some. I went over to it, and I heard a little. I didn't really hear it, but something went ooh, and it was like a little crack or a little something. And I thought, this isn't good. And what happened is, over the next kind of like 2 to 3 miles, I got unbelievable pain in my ankle. We didn't realise till I actually finished all 10 marathons that I'd fractured my ankle on the 7th marathon. But you could see how all of a sudden the speed just dropped off and the pain was awful. And what we did is, I finished that one. I was nearly in tears, I think, at the end of that marathon. And what we do is we had a sports physio who was helping us out at the time. And what you have to do for marathon 8, 9, and 10, and this sounds so awful, is he would elevate my foot in the morning, so my foot's up, and he would literally just push the inflammation out of the ankle, of the all the way down. He'd do it on that side as one. He'd force it all out, and then tape it and strap it, and tape it and strap it. I'd run a marathon on it, and then I get to the end, and the same thing again. I'd literally, you'd take the tape off, and you'd see the ankle go and just fill. It was horrendous. And we did that for 8, 9, and 10. But we finished the 10th marathon. It was amazing. And that was for Macmillan. About 25 grand, I think we raised on the first challenge. But it let me realise that these challenges are going to be extremely hard and so taxing on the body, because about 3 days later, all my toenails fell off. Again, this is something, I hope you're not eating when you see this video here, but like, all my toenails went black and fell off because it's just rubbing on the trainers as you go. I had some problem with my knees. I had some serious problems with my knees, and I had to I was on crutches for about 3 weeks. You know, and I couldn't run really for, God, 2 to 3 months maybe, so Joe, without pain. One of the awesome things as well, finishing the 10th marathon. You got to remember, right, this is the first time that I've done one of these challenges. The first time I've set out, you know, to accomplish something that I set out to do. Now, I expected that when we got back at the end of the challenge, I knew that some people are doing like a little bit of a welcome home kind of thing for it. And I had, obviously, because I've got a martial arts school, a lot of my students, my kickboxing students would be there. But when I got back, I didn't expect it in the slightest to be like it was. And anyone knows me, I'm quite an emotional person anyway. So when I got back to see it, as many people as there were, it was mind-blowing. And I mean insane, okay? I've never seen anything like it. There was just people lined all the way down. And then when I got to the last bit, the big run-through towards the front of the big shopping centre that we got, the big shopping precinct. And you had the mayor at the end, Northwest Tonight and ITV, we were all there. And everybody just ran behind me. Okay, we're talking, we're not even in the 100, we're over the 100, like 1,000 people, vroom, all the way up to finally accomplish what it is. And I think that's when people thought, you know what, you might be stupid enough to still try and keep going with these challenges. So, I mean, the aim is obviously to try and raise, well, the ultimate aim is to try and raise £1 million for charity by completing the most insane challenges possible. And I want to try and keep going until we hit that figure. Next challenge, because I had a full year, this one till 2018, I did this one. I had a full year out recovery, and then I decided to plan the next challenge. Now, the next challenge is harder than the marathons, okay? Anybody who runs a marathon, they go, oh, it's really, really hard. It is, but you don't feel exhaustion like you did on the next challenge. So the next challenge was, I got a road bike, okay? Decathlon, they were very nice, and they donated a very nice road bike. Now, I hadn't ridden a bike since like being a kid or something like that. You know, I didn't really do a great deal. I had a BMX when I was like, 12 or something. And so I thought, right, my next challenge, let's push it out there. So it was 150 miles. It's my phone, ignore that. It was 150 miles a day for 10 days. Okay, but kind of. So it was all around flat areas, the Cheshire Plains, nice and flat for the first 6 of those. And to be fair, they were hard. They were really hard. The pain you get there is all around your back and your neck and everything like this. But exhaustion is what gets you the most. Now, Marathon 7, we went from in Holmes Chapel. If you know the area well, Holmes Chapel, up to Penrith, 150 miles. And it was like this the entire way, up and down, up and down. Then the next one was Penrith to Stirling. Now that, I mean, anybody who cycles around England and goes, oh, it's really hard, go to Scotland. Oh my God, it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It was so, it was extreme. Let's just say it was extreme. And the last one, we were climbing for about an hour and 10 minutes at the very end. This is just to get to the hotel. I then woke up and I had a meltdown that night because the following day I had agreed, when I had put the announcement out there, because I'm very stupid, I will make an announcement I'm going to do something, and then when it comes to it, I've got to actually do it. So what I did is I said that for day 9 and 10, those two 150s, I can do them in one go. And we're going to do a ride from Stirling Castle all the way back to Manchester, okay? 302 miles. 302 miles. I'm going to explain to you how exhausted your body can get. When we crossed back and we crossed like the border into England, we're about 2 in the morning, I think, something like that. We've gone through the night, through farms and everything, in the middle of nowhere. Now, tired is one thing. When you know you're tired, you're not tired. It's when all of a sudden things go numb, like your brain just starts to go a little bit numb to your surroundings. You stop paying attention to things at the side of you. Now, the problem I had is that by about 3 o'clock, 3 or 4 in the morning, we were coming down country lanes and I could see I couldn't see these things, I'm making them up, but my brain was struggling that much. I thought old people with walking sticks were trying to walk out from the side and knock me off my bike with the walking sticks. That's what I thought was happening. And I turned to I had this amazing support team, and I'm like, why are they doing this? And they, Carl, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And I could just see these things. Then all of a sudden this kind of went black. And not black, but you can't see anything here. You can only see in front of you. And it's only then that kind of like that tunnel vision kind of there. When I experienced, people said this was going to happen, where you go full tunnel vision, and then my hearing started to go. Now, we hit a point then about 8 a.m. Everything had gone. I was running on empty, and we hit a really high point, Shap it is, and we're on a descent. Now, normally, through all of the challenge on a descent, I'll hold the bars like that. I'll really hold on to them like the handlebars, because I'm thinking, oh God, I could go at any point. It was so weird, a weird out-of-body experience, because I was that exhausted that I didn't care. So I literally just flew down. And, you know, what's mad is you're probably doing like 35 mile an hour on a bike, and you're going. And this is how I know it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and it's the most fatigue I've ever had in my life, and the exhaustion over anything. It was, as I was going down, I thought to myself, because I knew there was this big party, this big arrival party for the, it's the Teenage Cancer Trust and everything like that at the end. And I knew that I was only about 4 or 5 hours away from completing this mammoth 1,500 mile challenge. And I was going down, and I just thought at one point, if I just do this, bang, if I just do that, and I just turn the handlebars really quickly, and go down. And what's weird is, and I thought about it for about 30 seconds, this shows how crazy it can get in your mind. I thought, if I don't die, they won't let me carry on anyway. I was in my head, I was like, this is really, I'll just do that, and then, I won't die. I might break a load of things, something, but then it'll be over. I won't have to do anymore. And I thought about it for about 30 seconds. How weird is it? Because I think I'm a very mentally strong person. And I just thought, it's not going to, I'm not going to die. I'll just do that dead quick. I'll smash into the floor at 30 mile an hour. I'll be absolutely fine. And then the challenge will be over, don't to do it. And I battled with that in my head. And that's when I realised what true exhaustion is. When people say, oh, I'm exhausted. You're not. That is exhaustion. And that was it. But I always say that, like, doing these challenges, it's to find out what your limit is. Okay? And it's that one T.S. Eliot quote. What is it? Is it... only those who who try to push it so far, find out how far one can go. Or so, how far they can go, that kind of thing. And you realise that I was at my limit, I'd hit my limit, but I managed to talk myself out of it, all good, and carry on going. The park at the end, there was an amazing party, hundreds and hundreds of people there. It was amazing, it was so good, everyone was cheering. And I know that from the videos of me coming back into the park. I have no recollection of getting into the park, doing the big thing, went up a hill, they had music playing, they had confetti coming down and everything like that. They had bouncy castles everywhere, load of kids going, congratulations. I was having beers with people afterwards going, oh, it was really good fun. I can't remember any of it. That is serious, like, exhaustion levels there. So, question now is, what's the next challenge? Okay. I am inspired by a few people. I the mentality of a couple of people. I love what Eddie Izzard did when he started, because Eddie Izzard, he is the one who kind of got me that initial want to do something crazy. But since I'm looking at other people, there's a guy who a lot of people will know called Ross Edgley. I've read his book. I've got his another one on pre-order. If he sees this, got a pre-order. And he talks about phases, and one of which is stress and stimuli into the adaptation phase. And it's not just physical. All right, that's not just a physical thing. What I've got from his book there is that it's mental as well, because I like the stress and the pressure of doing something. But then when you think it's too much, your mind will go, no, it's all right. And you will get, I don't know, your limit is better mentally as well as physically. This gives up before your body all the time. If your brain can be strong, you won't stop with anything, Now, my next challenge is one that's a bit ridiculous. And again, I was inspired by Ross doing this. I saw him run a marathon pulling a car, okay? He did it around, I think it was Silverstone. And I thought, oh, that's amazing. Same mentality, because he's a nutter. He's an amazing guy, but he's a nutter. And I thought, God, that looked good. So I thought, I don't want to do the same thing. I've got to try and do something else. I always like to do something that's a little bit, again, out of the comfort zone, but something harder. So I'm doing a marathon. But my challenge now is that I'm supposed to be doing it on the 9th of June. Obviously, we're in lockdown in the UK at the moment with the coronavirus pandemic, so we'll see what happens with that, but I'm going to do it. So I'm training at the moment at home, okay? And I'm training for my challenge to attempt to run a marathon pulling a plane. That is what my challenge is, okay? I'm going to have a Cessna. It's going to be about when I've got a pilot in it and everything like that. It'll be about a ton, and I'm going to run a marathon pulling a plane. It'll be a Guinness World Record. No one's ever done it before. I'm doing it at Elvington Airfield, and I've got to do it in 24 hours. And that is my challenge, to be the first ever human being to run a marathon pulling a plane or a light aircraft. And that is the challenge. So how do I do that when I'm at home? Because I am at home at the moment. I can't go to the gym. All the gyms are closed. All the gyms with the big prowlers I can push, none of them are here. So what I've got to do is I need to train at home. Okay, so some of the stuff I'm doing, I'm either doing, I've got a rower here, that's keeping my cardiovascular up. I have normal weights, body weight stuff. It's just got to be everything, trying to keep the diet good. But that is the challenge, okay? So on the 9th and 10th of June, my attempt to be the first human being ever to run a marathon pulling a plane. That's the aim, to run an entire marathon, 26.2 miles, pulling a 1-ton light aircraft. Please subscribe, follow on, tell people about it. Now, anybody who subscribes to the channel, if you want to get involved in some way with this craziness, comment or just give me a direct message. Because what I love more than anything is finding self-motivated individuals who share the same weirdness here that I do about wanting to push my body to the absolute limit. If you do something that's crazy, let me know. If you've done some kind of extreme, fitness challenge or anything, let me know what it is. Okay, guys? But thank you very much. I'm going to key you up to date, and then fingers crossed, in a couple of videos' time, you'll see the live attempt of me trying to run a marathon pulling a plane.